All right, loading. We are live.
We're live?
Yeah.
You got to give me more heads up than what you gave me right there.
Right, we're live.
Now I'm not even prepared on my end right here. Okay, I'm hustling here, everybody. Let me get this out of the way. We're actually doing some real work over here, Anthony. Come on. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Patrick Carr Show. What is it, Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
Man, we're just getting this week started. I know we had that holiday weekend, but now everybody's back, feeling good, feeling like, you know what? All right, back into work, feeling like they're back in the groove after maybe some drinking over the holiday weekend. We got Anthony behind the camera, as always.
Yep.
Anthony is doing his thing. And again, you were mentioned this morning at the old bagel place, all right? Ron,
really?
always following you over there.
Oh.
So he likes your input.
We got a fan.
So appreciate it, Ron. Shout out to you, man, my bagel buddy, every morning. So we appreciate everybody. But again, welcome to the Patrick Carr Show. My name is Patrick Carr, and we're going to try to bring you some news if it's your first time joining us that is going to be interesting and relevant to your life, especially if you live in the state of Florida. Listen, if you live in the state of Florida and you're watching us on YouTube or you happen to see a short over on Instagram, go ahead and just follow or hit subscribe, because we're going to bring you news throughout Florida that you're really going to want to pay attention to. We do national coverage right here, but especially for my Floridians, I encourage you follow this show because we're going to bring you perspectives that you're not going to get anywhere else. And Anthony, I'm going to tell you the first story of the day that we're going to bring is no exception to this, because you and I were absolutely shocked. There is $400 million sitting in a fund somewhere in Orange County, Florida. And honestly, they can't figure out what the heck to do with it. Now, I know this sounds like, Patrick, you're making an exaggeration right here, but I'm not. Let's explain. Every time one of the tourists, if you're living someplace outside of Florida, decides that they want to come to Orlando, you pay a 6% tax from the tourist development tax. And what that is on hotel rooms and short-term rentals here. So you go out, you rent a hotel room at the Marriott, there's a 6% tax, and that goes into the tourist development tax. And it's called the tourist development tax. Last year, it brought in $400 million. That's a record, all right? And Orange County collects more of this tax than any other county in the Florida. Not a big surprise. If you didn't know, we have Disney World here. All right, cool. We create a bunch of it. You would think then Orange County gets this tax and then they would disperse it amongst Orange County, which includes the city of Orlando. And $400 million can only be used on tourism, convention centers, stadiums, arenas, advertising. It can't actually go into the things that residents of Orange County use, like for roads or for police, schools, transit, all the stuff that we need fixed in Orange County. None of this $400 million can be used for. Okay, so if that's not enough right there, like that doesn't make any logical sense at all. Here is the part where, in my opinion, we have a lack of, let's just say we have ignorance, and we have some what appears to be corruption, in my opinion, coming to an intersection. Of that $400 million, about $99 million a year goes to one group, and the group's name is cleverly Visit Orlando. A lot of people think that Visit Orlando is part of the city. It's not. It's a private membership organization. It's not run by the city. It is not run by the county. It's a private outfit that takes in tax dollars. 92% of the revenue that this organization takes in are from taxes that are from Orange County. And what does it do? It spends them on marketing Orlando to tourists in other parts of the state and other countries. Let that sink in, everyone. $99 million given to a private organization that is supposed to be putting money out there and advertising for Orlando. It's literally called Visit Orlando. Okay. But they advertise a city that's already the #1 tourist destination in the world. So you already have Disney, Universal, SeaWorld pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into advertising. And then it just so happens that our county, in all their infinite wisdom, decides that they're going to give $99 million over to an organization that's private and that organization is going to promote Orlando, but yet everybody that they promote to doesn't come to Orlando. They go to the parks, who are the exact organizations that already have a budget to make that happen. And to put this in perspective, everybody, the tourism budget for the exact state of Florida, it's $80 million for people to come to Florida across the world. It's $99 million for Visit Orlando. That's not a typo there, everyone. That means it's 20% more for the city of Orlando than it is for the entire state of Florida. Now, the money is private, so you can't actually see where the money goes. There's a contract that's with the Orange County Board, and the mayor of Orange County, who's Dimmings, they're the ones who make up this contract. It runs right now through 2028 with this private organization, and every year we funnel literally almost $100 million into Visit Orlando so that they can advertise for a city that nobody actually comes to. They go to the parks that already have an advertising budget.
That's if you look at Click Orlando, there's like maybe like 5% of it is downtown. 95% of it is literally talking about Universal, Disney, all these other private things, and not downtown Orlando and fixing it. Crazy.
This is the most idiotic thing I've heard. Well, I can't say about Orlando. It's just par for the course for Orlando. We are taking in as Orange County, which Orlando sits within Orange County, Florida, everyone. They're taking in $400 million from a 6% tax on hotel rooms and short-term rentals. Of that, 1/4, $99 million, is going to a private organization to advertise and promote Orlando as a city. Then they promote Orlando. People come here and they never come to Orlando, because why would they? There's nothing in Orlando that you can advertise for except for the attractions that already have an advertising budget. This is not made up. This is literally happening right now. And in fact, there's such little oversight on this Visit Orlando that they found last year that $11 million had been misallocated. Okay, we're including like box seats, everybody. There's no oversight on this private organization that gets 92% of its budget from our tax dollars in Orange County to a private organization with no oversight, which some commissioners and the mayor are the ones who decide on the deal. Who's the moron who thought that let's give $100 million to a marketing agency that's private? They're going to market a city that nobody's going to visit so that people can come to the attractions that they already were going to come to. Yay. That's a good way to spend $99 million on marketing. Meanwhile, we could just, I don't know, maybe do a paint job on a building downtown. Would that be too much to ask? Or maybe we would be less moronic if the $400 million that's brought in by this tax wasn't just earmarked for tourism. Maybe we could earmark it for something like the city or roads or private businesses. I mean, it is a tax being levied on hotel rooms and tourism, but shouldn't that benefit everybody in the entire county, not just, I don't know, tourism itself? Yeah. We are taking in dollars because our city is holding these tourist events. The people who live in this city are the people that work at the convention center. They're the people that are doing the work at the hotels that hold these people who come here, doing the work in the park. And yet none of the money that gets brought in from taxes from these people that's a part of this goes to the city or goes to the county itself. The amount of stupidity that it takes in order to develop something like this is mind-numbing to me. What are we thinking here? That, Anthony, I'm at a loss for words. We're in a city that is decaying. Right now, I want everyone, if you live in Central Florida, the next time you drive through Orlando, or you could probably do like a Google search right now. That'd be even better. And you do a Google search and you go right down on Orlando right now. See how many cranes are around downtown Orlando. How many cranes have buildings going up in Orlando right now? Zero, everyone. Then do the same Google search, Anthony. If you were to do it, go to Miami and do a Google search and do a zoom in down on Google and see how many cranes are in downtown Miami with skyscrapers going up everywhere. Look at Tampa. They're all over the place. Orlando, nothing. No progress. We don't have any buildings, no construction. The city is dying. Meanwhile, Visit Orlando is supposed to be bringing people here to move them into our restaurants and bars, our nightlife, our entertainment, our small businesses. But they know as well as I do that it's the most moronic thing in the world, because all they have to do is waste the money. And luckily, Disney, for-profit organization, is going to do a good enough job with their marketing, movies, and everything, and Marvel and Orlando and Epic Universe, that it won't matter because they can take credit for what those organizations do.
Yeah.
We are living in a dystopian world in Orlando where corruption is just run wild, and the stupidity of the policies has gone unquestioned for so long because we've had a mayor in place that for some godforsaken reason, Demmings and Dyer have been like the kings of Orlando, and nobody seems to want to look at the policies that have been implemented under these two men and how far Orlando has fallen in the course of their leadership under stupid policies like Visit Orlando. Let me tell you what, one of the things, if I was Mayor Anthony, Visit Orlando, by the way, no more of that crap. First thing I'm doing in 2028, if I was mayor, for whatever, I'm doing it in my term. Because why would you? You think less people are coming to Orlando because Visit Orlando and their $99 million budget that they're wasting? I mean, 11 million of it was misallocated anyway. Oh man, I was going to go to Charleston, South Carolina, but I saw that Visit Orlando ad. Orlando looks like a lot of fun. I never thought about Disney. I never knew Disney was there. Thank God for that Visit Orlando ad. So now I know there's Disney and Universal and SeaWorld that are there. Said nobody ever. Who doesn't know that Disney World is in Orlando? Has anybody thought to themselves, I'm not really sure if I want to go to Orlando. But now that I've seen that ad, I totally slipped my mind that Epic Universe got built. Now, let's do it. Like, honey, let's go spend a ton of money. Let's go. The more I talk about it, Anthony, I wish I could say this and somehow it's made up, because I think people look at it and go, that can't be the whole story. And it really is. There's a group of private individuals that are racking in cash. Can you imagine that marketing company, which is all that they are? They're a private marketing company. How much money they're making? All they're doing is marketing for Orlando. They can't fail.
Yeah.
This is when the city turns around in the county and goes, record tourism. We crushed it. Visit Orlando. No, Epic Universe crushed it, and people came there for that, and nobody came downtown. Nobody went to Orange County. Everybody stayed in the attractions, and the county and the city saw none of that money. And by C, I mean small businesses. I mean the people that actually make up the backbone of this state. None of them saw jack because no one comes anywhere except for the attractions.
You know,
I'm so pissed off about this, Anthony.
We need to make a fixorlando.com, and then we can make a whole marketing thing, and then city can give us money, and then we can market it for them.
Yeah, I mean, if the city wants to throw around this contract, I mean, I'll call you. You can call me whatever you want for $99 million. I'll be visitorlando.com. I'll be, whatever you want me to be. We can't listen. I mean, what a great gig. You can't fail.
Yeah.
You are going to win every single year. And if you fail, you'll blame it on whatever the parks blame it on so that you don't take any responsibility. So COVID, okay, Visit Orlando. Well, we had COVID. Yeah. So after COVID, when the parks had a big spike and like they did last year, hey, Visit Orlando did a great job. No, it wasn't. It was Epic Universe that opened and all the marketing, millions of dollars that they poured into that. But, Visit Orlando takes credit for that one. Great job with our $99 million. The rest of the $300 million that's coming in, we can't use any of that either. Meanwhile, there are people flocking out of our convention center. We literally just had a call, didn't we, before this, with a guy who said, if we have our convention, it's not going to be in Orlando. We want to bring it to New Orleans.
Yep.
Because he's like, I ain't going back to Orlando. What a piece of crap. Literally right before this call, you heard it. We had it on speakerphone. It was absolute BS, man.
The thing that makes me honestly really sad about all this money is that bar owners in downtown are paying these AMS fees And the chief of police was saying he can't have people like police officers there because it'll come out of his overtime budget. Why don't we use all that money and give it to OPD, have that budget so that they can pay from their budget the overtime? Be like, oh, you know what? Here's that money. You know what? You got overtime.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it out of the bar owners.
Oh, come on, man. Don't use logic. I mean, because we know that Visit Orlando really needs that whole 99 million. I mean, what would they do with 97 million if $2 million went over to OPD to be able to man our streets downtown and be able to have people there, keep our city safe, like things that people actually want? Like, who here is sitting there going, man, you know what? I really hope that they improve downtown Disney in the streets right there, or they give a subsidy for that. Or I really hope they improve the 535 exit, because that's what we need for tourism right now. No, what people want is they want thriving small business in downtown and the surrounding areas to grow outwards and be a place of commerce that people can begin to be an entrepreneur and win in this city again. That's what people want. But meanwhile, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. We're taking in a crap ton of money and we can't use it because it's like, where do we want to use it at? We can only have it earmarked for arenas and tourism and the convention center in these small areas of Orlando that people are going to go to anyway. And we don't even know what to do with the money. So we let it sit there and meanwhile give 25% over to Visit Orlando, the most, I mean, for a genius idea by whoever made that contract and whoever's in Buddy Dyer's pocket to continue that one going. I mean, great job. Great work. Because you've got the easiest gig in Orlando. I don't blame them for not talking about this. If I was Visit Orlando, whatever that organization, it's called a longer name. They just call it Visit Orlando. It's like the Tourism and Convention Bureau of something. So it sounds like it's a government organization. If you put in like, what is Visit Orlando's actual company? Let me see if I can find it right here, because I got it right here. It's here it is. There. Orange County and the Orlando Orange County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc. Or Visit Orlando. So Orlando/Orange County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc. That sounds like it's part of the government. Mm-hmm. And it's made to sound that way. It's made to sound like Visit Orlando is not a private company, but it's just another wing of our government that we're filtering money into. But it's not. There's no oversight. And there hasn't been oversight until last year when somebody said, you know what? There's a lot of money that's not being accounted for here when you have to give us this annual budget. Where is it? Yeah. And they had to redo the entire thing. Because they were like, so much money went mismanaged, $11 million. So you don't think that $2 million can go over to OPD to be able to help Chief Smith and put officers on our streets to keep this city safe? Get real. The corruption in the city of Orlando is beyond reproach. The corruption in the city of Orlando has gone on for too long. And this is just another example of the government doing nothing with our money. Yeah. Nothing. Oh, crap. Dimmings and Dyer. I mean, they've managed to drive this county and city into the ground. And all you need to do, folks, like I said, I'm not joking. Go to Google Earth, drive it down on Orlando, and see how many cranes you see right now with skyscrapers going up. And then go to other major cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, even Tampa. You'll see them everywhere. Mm-hmm. Go to Miami. I was in Miami not too long ago. Bro, there are skyscrapers, 100-story buildings going up. They're freaking going up in the water, it seems like. They don't even care. Meanwhile, we can't get one building built here in Orlando. Man, I'm like sweating. It pisses me off so much because it's like these people go unchecked. Great job. Dimmings and Dyer have done awesome for us. What have we got in the last 20 years? The city is decaying.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last building that went up in downtown.
I would say there was one of those downtown buildings on Orange.
Is it that tourist building?
No, yeah, I think that might be it. It's right there next to it, down there towards the North Orange side.
Yeah.
That's one of the newer ones that went up. It's a multi-use apartment facility right there.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was that building right across from the Kia Center, the hotel multi-use building,
Oh yeah.
the one that has that terrace on the top right there. Those have been like the last two buildings. There are not any buildings going up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go ask the city, or somebody who wants to suck on the teat of the city, they'll give you all these plans for buildings that are coming up around the corner. But of course, none of them made any kind of groundbreaking. They've been sitting there for 2 years while the city just sucks on its thumb and tells people that it's coming up around the corner, while realtors just post all these artist renditions and nothing ever happens.
Man, I've been seeing it for more than 2 years, like almost like 10 years. And nothing.
Nothing. It ain't gonna be nothing, man. It just is a city that just keeps on spinning in circles, because you have leadership who has no idea what they're doing except to make empty promises until they get out of office and pass it down to somebody else. And listen, man, if you don't believe me, I'll take my second story right here, because I'm so tired of it. When people get online, Anthony, and they go, "Oh, Patrick, you know what? All you do is and moan about this. What would you do to actually fix the city? How would you go about it if you were mayor? Or what would you do if you were a leader? Because all you do is complain about it." Okay, let's take a side by side, Anthony. I want to jump into it. I want to look at 20 plus years of what Dyer has done compared to what I would do in the first 90 days. Here's what Buddy Dyer's plan was. He called it, and I want to make sure I get it down, a plan for downtown, which was like this. It was like basically build everything into parks. That's what we know. All right. He had $200 million. Idea: flip some streets into two-way streets. Magnolia, Orange, and Roslyn. Hey, last time I checked, is Orange still one way? Yep. Turn Lake Lucerne into some destination park. Yeah, right. Not done. Build a Lake Eola gateway entrance. Got it. Cool. That's working out well. Now he's ripping up the curbs on Church Street to make it a festival street with open sidewalks. That actually started today. Build a giant entertainment district called Westcourt. Nope. 2024 is when that was supposed to start. Still not done right now. Turn the old Sentinel building into some $2 billion project. Nope. Still sitting there. Promise to cut the unsheltered homeless population in half by 2027. Nope. Still more of those than ever. Great job, Buddy Dyer. Great job, city leadership. You really crushed it. You got 0 of those done in over 20 years, Buddy Dyer. 0. Not some. 0 done. And so we're just now starting this Church Street thing, which is a joke. All right. And I'll tell you why in a second. Now let's take Patrick Carr. You make me a leader right now. Here's what we do in the first 90 days. First, in the first 90 days, I get law enforcement down there and I say, clean this place up now. We got 90 days. Law enforcement, law and order, get this place cleaned up. We are doing it in 90 days. And I spend my time down there day and night. We're not letting this crap happen anymore. Simultaneous to that, in the same 90 days, we want to break ground on projects and show the city that we're making progress. Big yellow signs that go up and they say New Orlando is coming, so that people see that their tax dollars are at work. Step 3, I run a marketing campaign inviting residents downtown towards the end of that 90 days. I want residents to see 2 things. I want them to see safe streets. I want them to see signs in the ground that are showing progress, that, hey, listen, this is a place that I want to be. And then step 4, as I'm doing that, simultaneously running marketing campaigns towards young entrepreneurs to get them into the buildings that we have that are vacant right now. I provide those business owners or those building owners there with subsidies to allow them to offer discounts in rent to get these entrepreneurs, not nonprofits, for-profit businesses into these buildings so that young entrepreneurs can begin to grow their businesses in downtown. That's when you start to see improvement in downtown. Better people, entrepreneurs, winners who are coming down there who want to spend money and live in a vibrant area. And what would happen? Restaurants want to come down there, and entertainment becomes a bigger deal, and happy hour starts to be some place that people want to be a part of. But meanwhile, our current leadership is building parks underneath I-4 like that's going to do something about the population of homeless. Who in their right mind thinks parks are going to solve the homeless problem? You've got to be a moron, which is exactly what our city leadership is in this Orlando and Orange County, because 0 things have been accomplished in Buddy Dyer's initiative. 0. It's insane to me. Here, you give me 90 days, man, I make a difference. We get law and order in place, small businesses downtown, progress being made, cut the red tape and bureaucracy, and we get small businesses thriving. I don't need more nonprofits. I don't need more homeless shelters. I need people who can make money and turn around downtown into someplace people actually want to live and will pay high rents. Because I'll tell you, Miami, there's a reason skyscrapers are going up everywhere. You've seen the 11 penthouses in Miami. They're gorgeous. They got helicopters landing on the top of them. They're charging $2 million for a base level condo unit that's a piece of crap. Do you think they're worried in that city about, hey, I hope the homeless can afford to stay down here? No, they're worried about their city being a vibrant place that people want to come to and visit.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get with it, Orlando.
You've got my vote.
Yeah, I'm fired up about this today, Anthony. I'm fired up. I'm on a roll. I'm red in the face, and I'm fired up about it because I read these stories, man, every day, and I just get so pissed off with where this city is at. And they keep pissing me off. I'm going to run for mayor, and I'm going to do it. And I'm so tired of reading stories about plans that never come to fruition, leadership that makes empty promises, stuff that we're supposed to see improve that never comes and happens. We still have an empty lot next to the Kia Center that is just sitting there as a sore for people just to look at as we go through downtown. I told somebody the other day, I said, listen, if we're going through downtown Orlando, just hold your breath for about 45 seconds. We'll be right through on I-4. You're not even going to know you were there.
Yep.
What a joke.
Yeah, and it just keeps getting worse. It's just not getting any better.
It's not going to get any better until you get somebody in there who says, this isn't working.
Yeah.
I don't care who goes. If it's me, fine. Okay. I would not want to do the job, which is probably why I should be the one who does it, because I have no desire to be in politics at all. What a crappy job. Okay. Get me in there. Let me fix it and get me the hell out so I can do this job. Right. But if it's not me, it has to be somebody who understands business. You have to understand that you can't have a downtown full of the homeless. You can't have a downtown full of nonprofits. You can't have a downtown full of people who don't want to make money and then expect them to spend money at small businesses to grow them. The two don't jive, everybody. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or macroeconomics professor to be able to figure that one out. Huh? What you need are people that have money in order to spend money. Without money, no one spends money at the bars, clubs, and entertainment.
And it's not like no one's coming to Orlando. We have a lot of people coming to Orlando, obviously for the theme parks, but we have the money coming in. We're just spending it stupidly.
Yeah. As I cough up a storm right here. Sorry, everybody. We do it live. 1 second. Keep talking, Anthony.
Oh, yeah. But no, I think, personally, I think you should run for mayor. I think it'd be good.
God, man. They're going to fuck around. No, I'm sorry. They're going to mess around. We might. Almost got out of my system. I was still fired up over here. But why isn't everybody else? People get on there, Anthony, and, they talk about me being fired up about what's going wrong in Orlando, and I am fired up about it because I live here, man, and I see what the city could be, and I want it to be better, and I'm passionate about it because I see that there are good people, entrepreneurs, families who are they're hungry for a city that they can be proud of. And meanwhile, we've got people that are in leadership positions who have no idea what they're doing. They're so out of touch with what is happening on the ground. Mm-hmm. They don't see obvious things like building parks is not going to get rid of the homeless. It's going to encourage it. We don't see obvious things like more police officers and reallocating money that is going to wasteful things like Visit Orlando, ending contracts like that. These are things that we can do in the city that can immediately make improvements. Not in 20 years. I'm talking about 3-month intervals. We call them sprints in our business. You hear me talk about all the time. We need to sprint to benchmarks. But no, government doesn't work that way because there's so much crap that nobody wants to understand. Well, we've got to set benchmarks in order to achieve goals. We can't just come out here like Dyer does in all these grand goals for parks and expect that it's somehow going to work.
I think one thing that's interesting that you just kind of thought about when you go to downtown Orlando, what you don't see?
Tell me.
You don't see souvenir shops. And I feel like that speaks a lot because you go to Miami downtown, you see souvenir shops
You do.
because there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people wanting souvenirs. Oh, Miami hat, Miami shirt. You don't see that in downtown Orlando. You might see it outside the parks and all those souvenir shops, but not downtown because no one goes there. No one wants to be there.
And it's because downtown also Orlando doesn't have an identity outside of the parks.
Yeah.
When you go to Miami, let me ask you this, me and you, I think that if we were to write down right now, I said, let's make a logo for the city of Miami. Wouldn't probably me and you come up with something like a pink flamingo, lime green, kind of a purple sunset, right?
There's neon.
Yeah. We both come up with the same thing. Ask 10 people in our office right now. Everyone's coming up with the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's an identity to the city. There's an identity to it. Orlando has no identity. You can't describe for me what Orlando is. You can describe attractions, but nobody can describe me for what the city is because it's lost it. It doesn't have it. Mm-hmm. At one time we did, and it wasn't long ago. And I actually think it was at its best after the Pulse shooting. I think there was a real city of like unity after that time. And I think it became kind of a place where everyone was welcome and yet people were having fun together. There was a real sense of, I'm going to say community in downtown 5 years ago that no longer exists. That's probably the only time in my 20 years of living here that I have seen something that would resemble an identity of the city of Orlando. This is my opinion only. Hey, next, let's turn our attention over to something everybody is talking about, Anthony. We're talking about data centers. All right. And there is a kid, West Palm Beach, making a lot of money. He's 21 years old. His name is James Bogger. He's a web developer, and in about 1 month, he built something that has gotten more than 1 million visits. It's called Florida Data Centers. You can find it at floridadatacenters.org. Anybody, you can go look at this thing right now. It doesn't just map the data centers that are being built in Florida. It doesn't just map the data centers that are already built. It actually tracks how much water they're going to use, the tax breaks that they got, how far along they are in the approval process, how much power they are pulling in. He gets this from insiders. Of course, he uses AI to pull it from public records. And so he's being able to what he's trying to do is make this information public so that people can make their decision about data centers for themselves. All right. And if y'all are not aware, data centers are the new hot topic. They're necessary in order to run the AI that you're probably using on your phone or in your office. They're using Gemini. It doesn't matter where you are. AI is integrated into everything. You want to have that Chat GPT give you an accurate answer and remember who you are when you log in. You're going to need data centers in order to make that happen. It takes a lot more power in order to get that. And therefore, they need a lot more water and a lot more power to cool them so that you get your quick Chat GPT response or Claude Code or whatever AI you're using for your CRM in your company. It is all done through data centers. Now, these data centers can take 3 to 6 million gallons of water every single day to cool them, and it cools it through evaporation. It can also take the power of about 100,000 homes, so a city, in order to run one of these things. And so there's been a lot of pushback across the state for data centers. In Lake County, they put a moratorium on that, so you can't even build data centers in Lake County. They're trying to do the same thing in a number of others. 12 counties, in fact, have followed suit and said no data centers are going to be here. And here's my question, everybody. Here is what I believe. I believe the average person, 2 things. Number 1, has no idea what a data center is. And number 2, if you gave them the option between fast and efficient AI that makes their life easier or draining that river over there, they're taking fast and efficient AI. But right now, what we have is that it's an easy thing for politicians to identify the problem, but no one wants to come up with a solution. Because every one of those politicians, even the guy who developed the website itself talking about data center power, are using AI themselves. And so I would ask all these politicians that are so against AI being built in their county, and I'm going to fight against it. Do you use AI yourself? Are you part of the problem? Or is it not a problem and we simply have not found an adequate solution, so we're doing the best we can with the resources that we have? Yeah. And so before everybody starts getting all up in arms, like, oh, no to data centers. Okay, just be ready for your Chat GPT, your Claude, whatever it is that you use out there, your Perplexity, not to be as fast, not to be as efficient. Get ready for other areas of the country to get development over there. Are people going to want to come to Florida if we don't have these data centers? Are businesses going to want to invest in the state of Florida? You can't sit there and go no to data centers, but yes to AI and innovation. You can't have it both ways. So what we have is politicians grandstanding with no solution to this thing at all. Come up with a solution. Here's mine. The solution is right in front of us. More data centers. You don't have to like it, but I ask you this. Do you want to not have the efficient AI that you are using every day in your life? Is that the cost you're willing to take? And for most people, I say the answer is no. If you were to actually be honest with yourself, and I told you we can build a data center 10 miles away from you and it's going to drain an aquifer over there, are you really going to care that much? If I tell you, hey, listen, you're going to have the best internet, the most AI, the most efficient AI, we're going to get a lot of development in this area because AI companies are going to want to come here because they're going to want to invest in this county right now. I think that most people would say, you know what, drain that aquifer. I don't care. You don't have to like that if you're an environmentalist. You don't have to like that if you're a politician. But until there's another solution that we have, we need these data centers, and you can't keep on kicking the can with no solution in place, Anthony.
Yeah, I look at it too. Like right now we're using a lot of aquifers, but I feel like hopefully in some time, 10 years from now, we'll find a better solution to getting data centers and not having to use as much resources as it is. And I think honestly, even if 10 years from now they find a new solution instead of using the waters that they have, people are still going to complain. Because it's like back in the 80s when you went to the grocery store, people complained that like we're using paper bags and we're killing all these trees. So then you went to plastic, and then plastic's even worse.
God, buddy.
So honestly, I think everyone's going to complain. So it's just trying to see what's better in the long term. We got to figure it out,
and people will. But in the short term, we don't have another solution, and we need to progress with AI. We cannot fall behind it because, well, we don't want to hurt the environment. Now, that's my opinion. There are the cost is far too great for some people. And listen, I applaud them. But how many of you that want to save the environment and stop data centers from coming are using AI programs right now? 100%. And you're using the AI program, but then want to stop progress for the data center that feeds that AI program. So you can't have it both ways, even if you're a politician. And I saw the Republican nominees on the PBD podcast last week. We couldn't have Collins come in here. Jay couldn't come in because he was there. And I saw him. And everybody, no to data centers, no to data centers, everybody. Good. Give me your other plan then. Tell me the plan if it's no to data centers. Tell me, city organizers, what you're going to do when you can't get AI investment into your county. Tell me what you're going to do when people can't get access to same AI programs, when things are not working as well. And you know what? You have corporations that go, you don't have the investment in infrastructure. We're not going to come to your county. We're going to go to Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to go to Charleston, South Carolina. We're going to go to New Orleans because they've made that investment right now.
Yeah.
You have to look at this at a bigger picture more than no, because I'm going to stand on the fact that we are for the environment, and no, you're not going to do that here. We are going to say no as politicians. Cool. All right. Now what? They're going to go somewhere else. And that's where investment's going to go in the future. So unless you have some other way that you're going to do this, stop the grandstanding. Let's make some progress and come up with better solutions as they become available.
Yeah.
That's how government should be ran. You make tough decisions for the betterment of everyone, not just so you can grandstand and not come up with other solutions. Joke. Tell you what else is a joke, man. Did you see this? We had yet another shooting in downtown Orlando.
Yeah.
Another one. Well, it's like they just lay down stories in front of me in Orlando and they just go, here you go, Patrick. Look at all the mismanagement. Another shooting in downtown. If y'all have not seen it, it happened on July the 2nd. The video is absolutely insane. A 38-year-old man who was drunk. He had already been thrown out of the Grand Bohemian that night, puts a stolen gun in a trash can, and then he goes back to grab the gun, Anthony, and the gun goes off with a bunch of people around it, hits off a wall, and luckily nobody was hurt or killed. Now, this is just after June the 28th, just about a week ago, around 2:30 in the morning on Church Street in Orange Ave, two groups got into a fight, and a brother actually tried to pistol whip a guy and shot his own sister in the foot. It took OPD 72 hours to make an arrest in that case. And so here's what I would tell everybody. When I talk to OPD and when I talk to city leaders, I hear the same crap from everybody. Violent crime is down 14%. Burglaries are down 30%. Homicides are down 50%. And they say there's a 100%. They say they've solved 100% of crime. They say they've solved 100% of homicides. The city is spending about $406 million on police and fire. So on paper, they've got a great report card. But what people in the city know is that, nah, it ain't safe. We had guys pulling stolen guns out of trash cans and shooting them off in the middle of Orlando. We got people shooting their own family a week earlier. Like, at what point do people in this city realize that the numbers that we're being told don't match the perception of the city that we all know? There's such a disconnect right now between what is actually happening and then what leaders stand in front of us and say is happening. It's like I live in North Korea at times, where you go there and they go, look at all of our beautiful grocery stores. And you're driving past and it's like, you see, it's just like a paper cutout in the window of food. And you're like, that's not food over. That's like a paper cutout. They're like, no, everything is great here. We have everything that we need and we're doing wonderful here. Don't think so. Yeah, we are. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can't do anything about it. See you later. That's what it feels like sometimes living in Orlando when I have to listen to the statistics that come down from whether it be OPD or our city leadership, while guns are going off in the middle of the street outside of a Taco Bell. And a week earlier, we got people being shot in the middle of the street. This isn't like last year. This is the last 10 days.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a big downtown either. It's a small downtown.
It's like nothing, bro.
It's
the guy gets, if you haven't seen the people, I know we'll show the video, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So, I mean, we'll show the video. This guy literally is kicked out of the Grambo and he's trespassed, walks around, drops a gun inside of a trash can, goes back to try to retrieve the gun drunk, and then tries to pick it up and the gun goes off and everybody's startled. It hits off of a wall. It could easily have ended somebody's life, but that's the kind of crap that we see downtown. Meanwhile, we're going to get all these beautiful statistics from OPD that tell us that things are going great. How are they going to you? Do you want to take your family downtown? I doubt it. Me and you talked about this. Did you go down to Lake Eola for the fireworks show? Nope. Me either. Because I didn't want to deal with the BS down there. I didn't want to deal with the bad crowd. I didn't want to deal with the violence. I didn't want to deal with the homeless. I didn't want to deal with the parking. I didn't want to deal with the BS of going to downtown Orlando. So you lost all of my money and I went over to Winter Park where it was calm and the people were good and there was law and order, which we can't get in Orlando because nobody wants to do a darn thing about the problems we have. We're supposed to just turn a blind eye and everybody just goes, yeah, things are going well down here.
The part that I find crazy to me is that this story didn't come out until this was July 2nd.
Yep.
That night didn't come out until yesterday. They were trying to hide it for 4th of July so that people can go to downtown. But
there is no doubt that happened.
Yep.
There's no doubt that this happened. This story wasn't big until after July the 4th, this week, till Sunday. Then you started seeing this story happen. And that's where the problem also in this city is the press. Local press does a crappy job of holding people accountable. I mean, I found a couple of people that we've been able since we started the show. We're 90 days in. You know, every day people send me stories they want me to cover. Think about that. What are we, Anthony? A guy with a camera and we sit here and we talk about things and actually give our opinion. But the people of the city are so hungry for somebody that will actually say what's on their mind that we actually get people who last night, I mean, nice gentleman, him and his husband, okay? They run a bar downtown, reached out to me. Nice guy, seems like a nice enough dude. Hey, come do a story down here on us, what we're trying to do. They're trying to build a business. Okay, cool. We get comments like that and questions like that every single day. I wish I could, but got a business to run here. I'm not a reporter. I'm not, but what it shows me is that we have a system of reporting here in Orlando that is just so disingenuous and detached from what is actually happening in our city. And I think it's because they're so busy kissing butt to our leaders that they don't ever want to say anything.
Mhm.
I got no problem pissing some people off over here. We're doing it with judges. We're going to do it with police chiefs. We're going to do it with leaders. We're going to do it with mayors, because when you see stupidity, you should call stupidity what it is. And somebody should say something. Maybe then people will go, oh, well, you know what? Maybe that is a cardboard cutout. That's not really food in the window. Oh, I guess we should pay attention to it. Okay. Kind of joke, man. Can't believe this. We have more shootings going on in downtown. More par for the course that we've got right here.
Just not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised either. Last story of the day, everyone. And this is where it's good that I'm on a rant, because I'm not sure if you all saw this, but last night the United States lost 4-1 to Belgium in the round of 16 in Seattle, knocking the United States out of the World Cup. So now we can go back down to reality, where Americans begin not to care about soccer again for the next 3 years and 10 months. And then we'll start caring about soccer again. But I want to talk about something else that I found to be absolutely, how would I put this? What word do I want to use for what this was last night as I was watching videos come in? Weak. What's the word I'm trying to think of here, Anthony? Like, it's not weak. It's not disgraceful. It's laughable in a way. It's I'm trying to think of the right word that I want to use for, I guess what I'm trying to say is, folks, as I'm looking through social media last night, I'm coming across grown men that are crying over their team. Like, not a little bit. Show the video, Anthony. Sobbing right now over their team losing the World Cup. Grown men crying their eyes out over some sport that they somehow feel an attachment to, while they wear a jersey of another man on their back with his name, and they sob and cry over a game that they had absolutely nothing to do with it. What a joke. I mean, what are you? I mean, it's like that guy who the Steelers lose on Sunday, and he's just pissed off the rest of the day. The family can't talk to him. Why? Because you had something to do with the Steelers loss. You had something to do with Portugal not being in it anymore, the U.S. or Mexico not being in it. You somehow were involved with a team at a level that you made a difference. Let me tell you, everybody, because I've played at a pretty high level when it comes to sports. The people who play those sports could give a crap less about you. In fact, if they met you, they probably wouldn't like you, and you probably wouldn't like them. And that's okay. So the people out there like I Show Speed crying in a corner like a little baby, these are the people that are getting $1 million contracts with the WWE. We talked about it. He was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If I'm a wrestler at WrestleMania, I don't like, get out of here. What this guy's going to sob his little eyes out because his team got knocked out of the World Cup? Oh my God, my life is so difficult. Okay, let me go get in my limousine over here and get back to my 5-star hotel. I'll get on my private jet tomorrow. Oh my God, I can't. That's what makes your life tough. You're a joke. You're weak. And then you have people that look up to this like that's acceptable behavior. I think it's already bad enough, and I'm going to say it because people think it's controversial. I hate it when any of my friends, I'll never do it, they go to like a game and they wear another guy's jersey. And then they just clap like seals for the guy. Oh, he's so good. Look, I have his jersey. I have his jersey on. Oh my God. I would never in my life put another man's name on my back and then go act like a dolphin or a seal at a game, cheering him on. Like, oh, you're so good. Look at, yay, I cheer for you. Get out of here. I mean, come on. Have some pride in yourself. You want to go cheer for the gladiator of our day? Good, man. Throw on a polo, support the team, and do your thing. But don't go throwing on some jersey like you represent the team and then bawling your eyes out as a man in the corner like you had anything to do with their failure or their success. You're a nobody to them. They don't know who you are, and they don't care about you. Get over it.
Yeah.
And I see this, and it's just disgusting to me. It's like, this is, get up. Like, who's the friend of that guy? Like this I Show Speed guy crying and bawling in a corner. I think somebody, if I was his friend, would have gotten him by the arm and said, hey, bro, stop. It's a game. Look up. Like, be a man. There are real problems in this world that people are facing. Meanwhile, we have people that are sobbing and crying over the World Cup. Get back to work. Do your job. Stand up. Come on. It's Ronaldo's last game. Oh my God. I remember Michael Jordan's last game. I think I was like 13 or 14. I was like, man, that was a great run. Great. Gosh, it's sad, man, to see him go.
Yeah.
Was I sitting there with like a stuffed animal crying my eyes out because it was Michael Jordan's last game? No. Because I actually have some sense of perspective in this world. What are you crying about? What a joke. How weak are you? Crying, sobbing at a loss of a team? What? Now you want me to believe when that guy goes out there to WWE, man, that's a tough dude right there. That's a guy that I want to go buy his merchandise. If I'm WWE, I'm ending that contract immediately. Like, this is not representative of what we want WWE to be. Our fans, they drink Busch Light. Not one beer, not two beer, not three. Come on. That's WWE. Not jokers like I Show Speed sobbing in a corner because Portugal's no longer in the World Cup. Get them out of here.
Honestly, though, if because I'm a Dolphins fan, if the Dolphins are up at the Super Bowl and they lost, I would be sad because they haven't won a game in my lifetime. They never won ever. So if I saw that, I'll be kind of sad too. I'll be like, dang.
Anthony, you've seen the video.
Okay, I wouldn't be sobbing like that, but still, I'll be just sad and like my heart would be like, oh, but I want to be sobbing like in a corner.
If you had $100 million in the bank and you're in a suite and you're wearing Louis Vuittons and you've got a $100,000 watch on and you've got contracts and going back to your 5-star, like your life, good, man. Are you sitting there in a corner having people video you sobbing?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my $100 bills and use my tears as tissues.
You know what? That's fair, man. That's absolutely fair. That's what I would do too.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point. Like,
and just
God, it's just so fucking $100 peasant money.
Like, I don't need this anymore.
I don't need these peasants. Here, take your rations over here. Take your $100 bills. You got to be kidding. Like, what a joke, man. It's just like I look around and sometimes I think that people come past this stuff and somehow it become acceptable at some point, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when did grown men sobbing become a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so embarrassed. How do you what do you do after that? Like, you pick myself up and you pick yourself up and you start like walking away and your buddies like put their arm around you. Like, what's the next step in that?
Well, honestly, I'm just trying to think of two things. Like, one is who the heck recorded that and was like, I'm just going to record my friend. And then two, all right, you got that recording. All right, now I'm going to post it. I'm like, what's the point of that? In my opinion, I'm like,
you bring up such a strong point, Anthony, because what sometimes you need in this world, and I think every guy knows this, sometimes you need a good friend there to stop you from doing stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
You need that friend who's going to go, bro, that ain't a good idea. I see what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to show that you love the team and you're really upset about it, but this has got to stop. And people need to understand how media works because we're involved with it pretty heavily, not on this show, but also with my business. I work with companies in media and branding. At the high level like that kind of stuff it's not improvised. It's planned. Here's my phone. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to act extremely upset about it. Don't think it's not improvised. Don't be stupid and naive enough to think, oh, it's just how he was acting. And then a friend randomly videoed that. No, they planned that, thought it was acceptable behavior. In fact, thought it was behavior that should be posted so that he could relate to the fans of that team.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly what happened here. And if it is sick, weird, all the stuff that I hate about Hollywood and media, if it's not, still sick, weird, and grow a pair. Who can be a fan of this guy?
Yeah.
What is he, a YouTuber?
I think it's like a streamer.
A streamer.
Yeah.
All right. Man, I wish I could talk crap like one of those little microphones to him on a streamer thing. But you want to cry about it if you lose today? You're going to go sobbing in the corner? You want to go sit in the corner, put a little cap on? Like, I'm going to give you a gold star? Like, what are you, 12?
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a joke. Sobbing. He's like a little boy. All right. WWE, remove the guy's contract immediately. All right. Whatever contract you have with I Show Speed, just remove the little baby's contract because nobody's going to believe anything the guy says anymore after seeing him cry like an 11-year-old in the corner and throw a fit.
Yeah.
What a joke. Man, I was fired up today, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Today I don't know why. I was fired up today.
I think it's a hat.
Think it's a hat?
I think it's a hat.
On sale right now, thepatrickcarr.com, everybody. The Fix Orlando hat. And welcome to the show. Let me tell you what, if you want to get them, you can go to thepatrickcarrshow.com. You can buy them right over there. And as always, 100% of the proceeds going back down to Orlando. We're not taking the money, everybody. We got a big stack of them over here. We're going to get some of these hats out here shortly, start shipping some of those out to you. So they'll be to you soon if you put the order in. And like I said, we're going to put 100% of that money back into Orlando. I've already talked to some of the bar and club owners and entertainment, and we're going to make some really great things happen for some people downtown in the very near future here in July. Very excited to see that happen. Anthony, did we miss anything today?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Talk to me.
Nope.
No?
I think we got everything.
Man, I'll tell you what, y'all. First of all, if you tuned in, I was fired up today. All right? I'm fired up. A lot of things I'm fired up about. I can't apologize for being passionate, though. Anthony gets on to me about it. Calm down, Pat. Calm down, all right? We're going to make it. Hey, but this is who I am, and we appreciate everybody who supports this show, supports me, supports Anthony, the work that we're trying to do around here. We will see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Patrick Carr Show. Have a great one.